hope by now you've watched the video from the phenomenal textile portrait artist Bisa Butler. Let's use inspiration from the colors, patterns, and textures in her artwork to create self-portraits of our own. Find the Ziploc bag of supplies that I gave you in your art materials this week. Take out the tissue paper, the patterned pieces of paper in your Ziploc bag for later. For the next step, you'll need a cup of water and your paintbrush and the heavier white piece of paper that came with these materials. Make sure to be working on a clear space and have some sort of messy mat underneath your artwork. To create this collage, we're going to wet small sections of the paper at a time. I don't want you to fill the whole thing with water, just an area about the size of one small piece of tissue paper, and then move on. So what we'll do is we will wet the paper, put a piece of tissue paper down in the puddle of water, and then smooth over top of it with our paintbrush. Again, rinse your brush and wet the paper, put down a piece of tissue paper and smooth it out. It helps if you continue to rinse the color out of your paintbrush, just like if you were painting, so that they don't blend together. And it's really important to do both steps, wetting the paper and then also smoothing it out. Oh, it looks like I've noticed here that really light piece of purple paper that I used didn't really show up with much color. So if you have that light purple color, you might not want to use it. I didn't realize it until I started creating my own artwork. You'll continue this process until you fill the whole piece of paper. Make sure to overlap and try to squish out all of the white space. The next step is to just let your painting dry completely. As it dries, you'll notice that the colored tissue will begin to peel off. You can go ahead and take them all the way off and just throw them in the garbage as this happens. What's left behind is a sort of tie-dyed looking painting. When it's completely dry, we're going to draw our self-portraits on top of it. Once your tissue paper painting is completely dry, you'll need your self-portrait drawing paper that I gave you with your art kit. If you don't have it or you misplaced it, I'm also going to put this exact document with a few more extra examples linked to the Google Classroom Google slideshow for this assignment. So go ahead and pull it out and start with step 1. I'm going to draw in pencil, and I encourage you to do that as well. We're going to do step 1, and it says draw a U for the face. Since we're just doing our head, neck, and shoulders, we're going to focus on that right now. So watch as I draw the U for my face, 2 lines for the neck, and a C shape for both ears, trying to make sure that they're lined up across from one another and right about in the middle of my face. To create a really simple t-shirt, you can just use a curved line connecting those 2 straight lines for your neck, and then draw your shoulders. If you're looking in the mirror, I want you to notice that your shoulders actually come out past your ears. So when you're drawing them, make sure you make them large enough so that they hold up our big strong heads. The next part is to draw your hairline. So we're going to do this in 2 steps. The hairline that might be on your forehead, and then the hairline on the top of your head that shows the rest of your hair above. So all of us have a different hairline. Maybe you even want to draw yourself wearing a hat or a headband or headphones. It's completely up to you. My hair is long and it goes past my shoulders and it's kind of wavy. So I'm going to draw here in a side part like I usually wear it. And that's the part that rests on my forehead. But to give the illusion that my hair is on the top of my head too, you'll see how I draw the outline of it right now. So I'm not drawing every single strand of hair, and you shouldn't either. It's okay if this sort of looks like a cartoon. We're trying our best to draw ourselves with simple lines and shapes. All right, now let's add some facial expressions. This is really fun. I don't want this to be too stressful. You can choose any type of facial expression that you would like to draw. It can be more realistic, using almond or football-shaped eyes. You could make your eyes closed. You can draw yours however you want. So take a few minutes to look at lots of these examples to give you some inspiration. And then when you feel ready, you can just go for it. So that I won't be frustrated, I think I'm going to start with a pencil. And I'm going to keep this example fairly simple. How about a wink? Color that in. And maybe a really simple half smile. Let's trace that with Sharpie so you can see. I most always wear large earrings, so I think this time I am just going to draw those. I think my favorites right now are my peace sign earrings, so I'm just going to make them solid black for this drawing. And I also have freckles, so I'm going to include that. And I wear a locket on my neck every day, my necklace that has a picture of my children inside and my husband. So that's special to me. So you'll add things that are special to you in your drawing. And if you really want to, you can take some crayons and color in some things to make them stand out a little bit. But I love just the simple line aspect and all of our beautiful colors shining through. For the final step, you're going to use a glue stick and glue your portrait to the very middle of your black piece of paper. That black piece of paper is supposed to be like a fancy frame. So we're going to use any pieces of scrap paper that we have, including the ones that I provided you with and any leftover from other projects. It could be origami paper, it could be wrapping paper, it could be scrapbook paper. You could use Post-it notes. Whatever you have, you're going to create a quilted shaped pattern frame around the outside. You can make all four sides exactly the same, or you can make the left and right sides match and the top and bottom match. Here's a few examples of me creating my quilted pattern frame for two different drawings that I have. My pattern's kind of the same, but you can use your imagination and make yours however you want. I hope as you're creating your quilted frames that you're really thinking about the artwork that's inspired us from Bisa Butler. Her artwork is phenomenal. Her attention to detail and color and pattern, creating these amazing portraits that look like paintings and drawings, but they're actually made of fabric. So when I found these patterned pieces of paper to share with you, they reminded me of fabric. Can't wait to see your self-portraits, and don't forget to share it with us in our school Padlet.